Rates of loneliness increase. Are dating services the next big thing in employee benefits? One Forbes contributor is arguing that they should be, especially as companies continue to find innovative ways to boost their workplace culture and support their employees' well-being. While the idea might seem extreme, some companies are exploring similar initiatives. For example, the dating app company Bumble offers paid leave for employees going through relationship issues, and Match Group, which owns Tinder, Hinge, and OkCupid, provides its employees with free access to their apps, a move that subtly blends personal life support into their benefits package. Let's bring in Forbes Women editor Maggie McGrath and vice chair of the Know Your Value and Forbes 3050 Summit, Huma Abedin. She's also an MSNBC contributor. Maggie, okay, so this is a new concept. Traditionally, employee perks have focused on things like health insurance, retirement plans, professional development, but now we're seeing IVF, we're seeing fertility, dating services. Lay the case out for us.
This is a provocative idea, to be sure, Mika, but Sulaima Gorani wrote this piece for us, really arguing that if employers really care about employee well-being, they would offer discounts on dating services, matchmaking services. She even talked to me about maybe coaching to help people's interpersonal skills. She lives in Silicon Valley and is an employer herself. She's a small business owner, and she says her company's not big enough to offer services like this, but she 100% would, because she's approaching this issue from, as you said, the loneliness epidemic perspective. She says she sees so many people and hears from so many people who are successful in their careers but have not met the partner that they want. They have not built the lives that they want. So she says, I did ask her what's been the feedback to this piece, and she says that some people say that my marital status is none of my employer's business. But her point is this is just a natural extension of where we already are with benefits. We see employers covering egg freezing and IVF services, like you mentioned. So in her view, it's all about a holistic discussion and a holistic approach in helping employees achieve better work-life balance and achieve the lives they want.
I mean, I like it. Huma, this ties into the discussion that we had last week on Morning Mika about the loneliness pandemic that many young Americans are facing. I'm curious what you think of this type of benefit, because I think that, let's keep it real. I mean, as Jen Psaki said on Morning Mika, and she met her husband at work. A lot of people meet at work. There's all these reasons why it's not okay to meet at work. I think we need to revisit that. I think it's okay to meet someone that you care about at work. It's how you conduct it that matters the most. And workplace gatherings should come back. But what do you think, first of all, of the benefit?
Well, I agree completely in terms of, like, first of all, no one size fits all. This is a clear case of that. But we do have to be creative. We talked about this on Morning Mika last week, that in the past, pre-COVID, so much of the way our workforce operates today is a result of the pandemic that we're, frankly, in a way, still in. We have still 96% of employees will say that they want flexible work hours. At the same time, we have a Surgeon General who issued a report saying that we have an epidemic of loneliness that's led to all kinds of ramifications and consequences. And when you look at it from a business perspective, because one of the things that he recommends is the ways that we can, government and communities can help and the way businesses can help. We know that financially, small and medium-sized businesses can suffer if there are mental health challenges by employees. And so we're living in a world where, you showed that clip from No Hard Feelings, the Jennifer Lawrence movie, where she's walking into rooms and people are just on their devices and not interacting. So what are environments that we can create that can be supportive, where women, especially, we have more women in the workforce today than we have men. So what are things that we can do to be creative that can support those kind of interactions between men and women? I will just say, just randomly in the last week, I've been out with two women separately who are single in their late 30s who, just keep complaining about how hard it is to meet somebody. So maybe there's something employees can do to try and, let's be creative.
I get it. And I think, dating apps is one thing, but that's meeting people outside randomly, I think. And not that I've been on any of these apps, but I also just think that for many different reasons, beyond dating, gathering at work or companies having, baseball games against other companies in the same industry or whatever, gatherings at work need to happen again for friendships, for mentoring relationships, for social interaction. I just can't imagine what the drawbacks, Huma, would be to wanting that for your workers.
Well, 100%. And we reported a few months ago about the number one thing young women want in the workplace today is mentoring and mentorship. And you're right about friendships. I think, Maggie was actually telling me about this NIH study where there are employees who are concerned about their privacy, rightly so, understandably so, are concerned about discrimination and stigma. Does it look like, there's water cooler gossip going on over there about people's personal relationships? So it's all about approaching it with respect and empathy.
Right.
And so much of the conversation we're having about how to have healthier workplace environments is having that empathy for each other.
Maggie, some countries are like playing matchmaker because they have plunging birth rates. I don't know if we're at that point, but tell us about that, because they also want to promote the well-being of their citizens and also the future of the republics.
I don't think we're quite there yet in America, but in Tokyo, the government is expected to release its own dating app later this year. And in fact, the government has already been testing an AI matching service. It's a desktop website I visited last night, and I translated it into English. You have to verify your identity. You have to verify that you are single. There's a certification you can get. And there's a line in there that translated into English says, please use this as the first step to start marriage hunting. And that language feels really striking to me. This is about marriage hunting and procreation. It's not about fixing loneliness, though that might be a byproduct of helping people match up. Now, I would note that Japan Today has reported that the public perception and reception to this has been lukewarm at best, with folks saying that a dating app and dating services don't address the underlying systemic issues that are impeding people from meeting each other and building families. Those issues include long working hours, attitudes towards women, and social support for building families.
I love it. And Know Your Value, I used to tell young career-oriented women, don't forget to get married and look for that. It's one of the most important decisions you'll make in your life. I now say that to young men as well, guys, okay? It's really important. It's actually, if it's something you want in life, you have to look for it. Maggie McGrath and Huma Abedin, thank you very much. Great conversation. And if you haven't seen the latest episode of Morning Mika, we talk about the nightmare around modern dating and how to combat the loneliness epidemic. Check it out. The episode is available by searching Morning Mika on both YouTube and Peacock.